Alright, Khamzats Gilbert Burns a couple days later. First big takeaway is one, still think Burns won. Two, a lot less upset about it. Like, I was fuming that night, and relatively unreasonably so. It was a lot closer fight. I was very emotionally invested in that fight and that card as a whole, and I just let my emotions get the better of me for those, especially for those top three fights, for Khamzats Gilbert, Aljo Jan, and Volk TKZ. I had my dog in the race or my horse in the race that I wanted to win. And with Gilbert, I really wanted Gilbert to win. Didn't, and you know what? I'm not really even that angry about it anymore. Even the day after, I was like, I couldn't even watch any media related to it because I would just get pissed. I've come around now. Like, I can't even really be that upset. It was just a great fight. Like, I took a lot away for, like, I was calling Khamzat a weight bully, which he kind of is. But, I mean, it's not like he's the first. He's not going to be the last. I mean, Dustin Poirier is doing it right now, and he's a good guy. It's something that personally I don't like. It's not that it disgusts me, but, I mean, it's a little bit of a cheese thing, but whatever. I mean, again, very, very much not unique in being a weight bully with that. And yeah, I mean, I didn't give him as much credit in the third round as I should have. I still had it for Gilbert, but it wasn't like Khamzat just did nothing in the third round. They were both dogs and both doing it. And now they're talking about doing it again. Chael Sonnen brought up the idea, but I've seen both of them have said good things about that for like a 5-round main event on ABC, which would be, I mean, that's awesome. I can't even really be like, no, that fight sucks, or like, it's pretty phenomenal. We already know what we're getting. We know they're not, well, I mean, it could be a curse thing, but I don't think that either of them's going to be, especially with Gilbert losing and feeling like he won, or a lot of people thinking that he won, including myself. He's going to come out that much harder, and I feel like Khamzat might take the more safe wrestling route. So it'll be interesting to see if it does happen. But yeah, I was just really emotionally invested in that fight, especially above all. And then it's like I was going to say, it's a similar thing with Aljo and Jan, but the only thing that's similar about it is that I was rooting for somebody, and it was Aljo, and he won. And looking back at round one, I think he won. So hardly any contact. And here's another thing: I hate 10-8 rounds. By the way, I hate giving out 10-8 rounds, whether it works for or against me. You could make an argument that the second round was a 10-8. I wouldn't support that argument, but you could make an argument 10-8 in favor of Aljo. So regardless if Poirier won or not, I mean, like, Dana was so salty. He was so salty. He's like, I thought the judges got it wrong. Nobody who is a normal person is saying that Jan won. Jan's saying he won, what, round 3 or round 2 or something? Either that was lost in translation, or he's as big of an idiot as we all think he is. I mean, or at least as I think he is. I mean, kneeing somebody while they're down, thinking that you won a round that you got possibly 10-8'd in, that's two pretty dumb things in my book, and I'm sure I could come up with more if I looked through his thing. Could be lost in translation, who knows? Who gives a fuck? Not me. Fight's still awesome. But for Aljo next, it's interesting. He could it'll probably go down the TJ route, which is compelling, because I don't really know how that fight's going to play out, because I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird. It's in a very interesting position. Like, it's not that their styles are necessarily, well, I mean, there are contrasting styles. TJ's a bouncing striker, and Aljo's, as we've seen, a grappler. It's very interesting. Here's why I'm not super excited about it. I really did want to see TJ versus Jan, whether it's for the belt or whether it's I just wanted to see them fight, because I feel like a fight between them would be pretty freaking sweet. Like, they're both very intelligent in the cage, both very, like, download adapt to their opponents type of thing. That's a compelling fight for me. And TJ and Aljo is as well. It's just that it's two strikers compelling versus a striker and a grappler compelling, which is still compelling, but then it's like to a lesser degree. Like, when you have two guys that just want to stand up there and basically kickbox or strike in general, that's interesting and fun. Moving on finally to Volk&Aljo and TKZ. This one still sucks, but I'm less sad of it. It's almost like the further you get away from it, the further detached you are from your emotions of it. Yeah, I mean, it sucks for the Korean Zombie, and I did my best in making myself and everybody else believe that he sort of stood a chance, but that performance showed that he didn't really belong in there in the first place. Like, as the number 4 guy ranked in the world, it was more out of a position of respect than it was true skill. That being said, it's not like he's saying he's a shit fighter. He's a phenomenal fighter. It's just who in the featherweight division can even stop Volk? Max Holloway, maybe, and you're going on strong, maybe, at that point, with it being a third fight where Volk won the first 2. Even if the second was controversial, the first wasn't. I'm going to stop hearing about how, like, the first was also close. I mean, yeah, it was close, but it wasn't close like the second. You can't put those 2 closes in the same category. And, yeah, I mean, Volk moving on. The lightweight interjection that he wants to do is very interesting, very compelling. I'm interested to see where that goes. And Henry Cejudo out of the USADA pool, or in the USADA pool again. Does he go to bantamweight or featherweight? It's very interesting. There's a lot of interesting things happening this week as of right now. And then this Saturday is going to be awesome. I'll have to do a video on that, separate video for that this Saturday. Just wanted to bring you a quick one, and I'll end on this. There's a whole hype with Khamzat thing. It's really weird. People, because a lot of Khamzat defender, and I don't want to call them Khamzat fans, because I'm also a Khamzat fan, believe it or not, I am. But I feel like a lot of people who are defending the fact that Khamzat won the decision are saying that, like, oh yeah, they're trying to gloat, which is really weird. Like, they're saying, what they're saying is that, like, people are saying that Khamzat's still a hype trainer, that the hype train got derailed when he fought number 2 and beat him, and all that, even if it was close. I mean, it's proving he's not a hype train. First, hate the hype train lingo, not my cup of tea, so I wouldn't even call him a hype train anyway. But they're both correct and incorrect. I mean, obviously, he proved he's really fucking good fighting and beating the number 2 ranked welterweight on the planet, the guy that came closest to finishing Kamaru Usman. Fucking duh, he's good. I mean, like, is that the point you're trying to get across? Because you're doing a shitty job of getting it across. Yeah, we all have bias, we can see that. The thing is, maybe it's not Khamzat, maybe it's not even the people, well, it is some, maybe it's only some of the people that are really battening down the hatches for Khamzat. I mean, they were talking like he was God, like he was gonna be, because we sort of expected Khabib levels of dominance. Khabib fought the number 2 guy ranked in the world, or equivalent, and Justin Gaethje, I fucked myself up now. Dustin Poirier, Conor, all like these top contenders. Like, he fought these upper echelon guys and mowed through them. They didn't even win a round against him. Justin Gaethje didn't win that. Well, that's honestly, I rewatched that. I don't know. Regardless, whether he did or didn't, complete destruction of upper tier talent. And, yeah, I mean, got a little distracted, sorry. I mean, what can I say? Like, we expected Khamzat, the people that were peddling that were expecting Khamzat to do that, and we were all led to believe that he just smashed him, knocked him out in the first round. Didn't happen, because Gilbert's good, but we learned Khamzat's really good too. I don't know why there's so much weird energy going around with, like, quasi half gloating and, like, defending still. It's weird. Whatever. It was crazy night of fights, great weekend, and everything's still staying pretty much the same, but I'm less upset that Khamzat won now.